Hey everybody, and welcome to the Stash Project June 2014 Asian Kit wrap-up video. And we have a lot of stuff to cover in a short period of time because I don't want to drag this out into being a 20-minute video, but we have a number of kits coming out that were either modified reissues or some of them are just straight reissues that came out during the month of June. Looks like about 13 kits and one detail set, and they are from every company as far as the Japanese kit manufacturers go, so we'll just head right on into it here without any further ado. First thing we're going to talk about is the detail up kit. Now, there were a number of detail kits that came out, and decal sets, of course, come out. We're not going to cover every single one of them because that would take forever, and if you really need the information, it's out there. But the first thing we're going to talk about real quick is this carbon fiber set that came out for the Aoshima Lamborghini Murcielago racing version. Keep in mind there is a street version of the Murcielago Super Veloce as well, but that decal set goes to this racing version of that kit. I don't know how much, if any, of that carbon fiber would actually carry over into the street car, as I don't have it on hand to look at, but it is designed to fit that racing version. All of like the interior pieces are set to the racing version's lack of door panels and roll caging and stuff like that. So, if you're into building the race cars and you're looking for that extra touch, that is, I believe, the 8th of a series of carbon fiber decals that Studio 27 has done for several street and new race cars. They've done some for the Aoshima McLaren GTR Longtail, the Fujimi Longtail kit, as well as the Tamiya FXX, the racing version of the Enzo, basically. The actual Enzo itself. There was also a set coming out in the future for the BMW M3 DTM kit that Revolve Germany did, as well as the Fujimi Z4 GT3 racing kit. So it's a new series. They're only 8, 9, 10 sheets into it as far as the carbon fiber goes. I also have a set for the Veneno, the Lamborghini Veneno by Fujimi, which I've been playing with recently. They're a little stiffer than traditional decals, but after beating them down with Microsol and Microset for a couple of hours, literally, they do fit down very nicely, and they are going to give your finished piece something that no straight out of the box decal set would. One reissue from Hasegawa this month, that would be this Ray's packaged Mini Cooper Countryman. For anybody who's followed the Mini Cooper Countryman series, there was a factory stock kit of that, and they put out a Union Jack one that also had like a checkerboard pattern for the roof and the mirrors. This is the same kit as it always has been. It has some stripes and some decals for this Ray's package, which was fluorescent mirror accents and fluorescent striping. It's 2 or 3 colors, I believe, from looking at the instructions. It's not something I'm going to get because I already have the original kit, and how many Countryman All-Fours does any one person really need? But if you've never bought into this kit, here's an opportunity to get one. I think some of the other ones are already out of production. You don't have to use the Ray's package stuff with it. All of the regular parts that were in the original kit are in this one. It's just basically a decal set is all that's different with it compared to the other ones. Tamiya put out one new kit in June. It's a modified reissue of this Porsche 934 Turbo RSR. I believe it'd be Vaillant, since there's 2 L's. It's not Valiant, that's only 1 L. It does have photo etch with it. It's a racing kit. I don't know very much about as far as its heritage goes. I know there was a 1/12th scale version of this kit. I don't know if this is necessarily that kit shrunk down into 1/24th, or if it's a modified tooling from some of the other Porsche racing kits. They just put out that Jägermeister Porsche. I believe it was the beginning of this year, might have been the very end of last year. But that's out there if you're interested in it. I know there's a couple of sets of decals done, I believe, by Shunko for that kit, if you don't want to stick with the Tamiya included decals. Looking at Fujimi, they had 4 kits put out, all of them reissues in one way or another. We'll go through them real quick here. They are this Lamborghini Veneno. There have been 3 versions of the Veneno kit now. There was one put out originally that was a curbside. Then about 4 months later they put out one that has a complete engine kit. It's, I believe, 13, 14 part engine. It's not perhaps not the most prototypical Lamborghini engine, but what you can see of it once you put the engine together, it all looks right from that aspect. It was probably, I think, $3-4 more than the curbside was, so it's not a bad value if you wanted that engine kit. I know I sold my curbside and bought one of the engine kits. This kit is a DX. Anybody who knows Fujimi kits knows the DX means that it has photo etch in the box, straight from either KA or perhaps from Fujimi themselves, but it is the curbside version with the photo etch. So there is no engine in this kit. You would technically need to buy 2 kits to get the photo etch. I believe they may sell a photo etch kit for the Veneno separately, but it's not in stock anywhere that I can find. 3 straight reissues from Fujimi. They did this Tools Remix. What this is are the most popular tools. Go back real quick. The most popular tools out of the 3 sets of tool kits. If anybody's looked at the Fujimi stuff, there are Tool Set 1, Tool Set 2, and Tool Set 3. These are the most popular pieces out of those 3 things remixed into one box. We went a little fast there, but they also reissued this Nissan Fairlady SR311, a little roadster from the 60s. Technically it has Datsun markings all over it. I don't know why it's marketed as a Nissan. Look really good next to your Honda S800 or any of your other little 60s Japanese kits that are out there here and there from various manufacturers. This kit is sort of a quasi curbside in that it has an engine insert, a top half of the engine, so you can build the engine, with the hood open and get a little bit more than, just sort of a paint mixing cup that they did with stuff like the McLaren F1 or some of the or the curbside version of the Veneno. The 4th and last reissue was Fujimi's Honda version of the S800. I don't believe this kit is any different than the Tamiya one as far as what it's supposed to represent, and from the standpoint of which should I buy, the Tamiya kit has an engine and it's full detail. The Honda S800 is not even a quasi curbside; it's a straight out curbside. It's an older tooling, so it's not going to be up to current day Fujimi standards, which is saying something depending on how you look at what Fujimi standards really are currently. They're sort of the number 3, perhaps the number 4, depending on if you consider Hasegawa to be a major automotive manufacturer. They tend to be more airplanes and things like that. So, this is an older kit. It's not motorized, but it's also a straight curbside, very minimal detail. So, you have to look out for what you're doing there. If you want a full detail S800, Tamiya, obviously the way to go there. The last bit of stuff we're going to look at here is all from Aoshima. They did a number of straight reissues, a couple of new kits, and at least one modified reissue here. The first one we're going to talk about real quick is this Corolla DX sedan. This is the 2nd modified reissue of the old motorized 70 series Corolla. This is a DX, meaning it's sort of, I guess, deluxe, but it's sort of a stripper model. The GT was the one that came out right before this. It's a little sportier looking. This one's the more basic family transportation model. Please know that anytime you buy an Aoshima kit that says best vintage car, you're going to be getting an old motorized vehicle. Now, there's also a bunch of work that you have to do to make the new parts fit. You have to do some trimming to the front valance and some sanding to the rear end in order to get all of the parts to fit correctly, because they didn't cut a whole new body tool for this. They just cut new parts. I've seen some put together. They all look good in the hands of the right modeler, but know that there are going to be a bit more work to this than just slapping it together out of the box. A straight reissue for June was the Initial D, Project D version of the Toyota A86 Truno. This one has, it says engine parts included. There are some of the Trunos that don't have engines, some that do. This one has a different intake and the visible timing belt setup that is different from the other versions of the Initial D Truno. The kit is just a straight reissue of every kit that, every version of this that's come out before. They reissue this kit, seems like once a year or so. Another straight reissue is this Yidon catering truck. It's a Subaru Sandbar. This is an old Subaru Sandbar kit, and it's not the new tooling kit they put out last year. Literally, it translates into Japanese beef bowl. It's sort of a neat little, conversation piece kit. It's an old motorized kit. It's very minimal detailing on the chassis and stuff like that, but that's not what these kits are about. They're obviously about the, you know, catering truck. That's actually what the series is called, Cater Truck. They put out one other cater truck, and that's going to be this fish market truck. It's got a giant, I believe that's supposed to be a tuna on top of the roof there. Again, it's another Subaru sandbar kit. You know, same deal with the other one, minimal detail. But hey, look at that. You got a giant fish on top of your sandbar. Two new kits, or well, it would be modified reissue kits, are the Liberty Walk Skyline here, the Hakosuka Works. This is an old Skyline tooling that has all of these new Liberty Walk parts added to it. So it is an old motorized curbside with, you know, you have to cut the body apart to get the fender flares on and get some of the other pieces to fit. But hey, I mean, if you're into that look, this is a great new series of Liberty Walk kits that Aoshima is doing. And the other one that came out in June is this Laurel Works, this 130 Laurel that has really exaggerated fender flares. I'm personally not into building these style kits. They're a little bit out there as far as what my tastes go, but you know, they certainly are a welcome addition to the you know, variations of these kits that you can build out of Japan. A lot of them were really out there styling wise, and now they have this contract with Liberty Walk, and they're building, you know, making models for specific cars. There's going to be at least one more of these coming out, I believe, next month. We'll have to finalize what the date is on that exactly, but July was the expected reissue. But there you go, in a nutshell, really quick, what came out in the month of June for the Japanese manufacturers. We hope you enjoyed the video, found it informative. A number of those pictures you saw we took from either HobbyLink Japan or Hobby Search, because it's just the most direct way to go about it. We have included links to both of their websites in the description of this video, as well as in the credits of this video. So if you're looking to buy some of these kits, check either one of those two out. I buy from both. I prefer HobbyLink Japan, but I do buy from both. So it's the cheapest, easiest way to get kits directly from Japan for a lot less money than you ever pay for them here stateside. So rate, subscribe, check it out, and we'll see you on the other side for a look at what we expect to come out in the month of July.